I held his swollen hand. I told him how much I loved him. They switched Charlie's life support machine off and all the colour in his face just drained and his lips turned blue. My little boy died because somebody made a decision to pick up a knife. In July of 2023, Charlie had just passed his driving test. I remember him saying, Dad, I want to go to a party. And Charlie wasn't really a party-going type of lad. You know, he's 12 weeks away from 18. He should be able to go to a party. So we let him go. And I remember him leaving my house. I'd watch him walk all the way down and get into his friend's car at 7:30. Fast forward 5 hours. Bang, 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 bang. Oh. Suddenly I'm awake, you know, my brain starts working. Come downstairs, I open the door and there's 2 police officers. They know my name. Your son Charlie has been stabbed, he's critical. I turn around, scream for Tara, who's already at the top of the stairs. We get our clothes on, we leave the house. As we arrive, about 40 minutes later, we find out Charlie's had a traumatic cardiac arrest. They've had to resuscitate him and repair his aorta. We get taken into this small room and doctor walks in and he says, I have to prepare you for the fact there's a significant chance your son is going to die. And with that, he's gone. And we sat there for 4 hours. The same doctor eventually came back and he said, he's alive, but he's critically ill. Charlie fought for his life for 2.5 days. He had 2 traumatic cardiac arrests, a ruptured bowel, ruptured spleen. He'd been stabbed in the heart. And we were told that Charlie had some swelling on his brain and he went in for surgery. They came back and told us that essentially he had irreversible brain damage and we'd have to switch his life support machine off. We invited Charlie's closest friends to come up and say goodbye to him. And it was my turn. I told him how much I loved him. They did a recording of Charlie's heart. They cut locks of his hair, one which I wear around my neck with his fingerprint. Charlie was a fighter. He was fighting really hard. It was a miracle he wasn't dead by the time we arrived. We didn't hear the whole story until the murder trial. We knew Charlie had helped a girl that was being inappropriately touched by Verebras. And these girls asked Charlie and his friend for help. Charlie went over to ask Verebras to leave the party. Verebras punched Charlie in the head. He pulled a knife out of his man bag and stabbed Charlie multiple times in the chest. And all Charlie was doing is asking him to leave the girl alone and leave the party, and it cost him his life. He was allowed to vacate his guilty plea, putting my family and Charlie's friends through 6 months of hell waiting for a murder trial that lasted a month. And he didn't even take the stand. He just couldn't own his crime. No remorse. Going through a murder trial is as bad as the moments we lost Charlie. It's hell. We have the life sentence. There's no such thing as justice for a family like ours. None at all. We've just gone in, we've had the verdict. And he's guilty on both counts. Guilty for first-degree murder. He killed our son, but he's guilty. Nothing brings my little boy home. There is no justice. When I saw Charlie lying in intensive care, my little boy was broken. And I sat there holding his swollen hand and I just looked at him and I was like, I need to do something. I promised him that this would be my life's work. Everyone would know who he was, that I would get justice and I would educate families in his name. And I meant it. That was the most important promise of my life. Preventing other families from living like my family has to live. Use Charlie's story in the fight against knife crime, because if it can happen to my little boy, believe you me, it can happen to anyone.
We are seen. Are you? Add for more stories.